Chelsea fans, welcome back to Talking Chelsea, welcome back to the Chelsea News, and in this video we're talking about two summer transfer targets that Chelsea are after, both of which are strikers. On one hand we have Victor Osimhen and the other we have Liam Delap. There's been a lot of news about these two guys in the news this week, so we are going to be covering it. There's also some news regarding a new goalkeeper for Chelsea this summer and also an update on the front of shirt sponsor. I'll be giving my opinion, but most importantly I want to know what you guys think down below in the comment section. And before we get into the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content. We're on the road to 10k by the end of 2025. So kicking things off, we have a report from ESPN FC that says Victor Osimhen will be available this summer for around £55 million. Now this is huge. This is huge. This is Victor Osimhen on a discount. When we first went for Victor Osimhen, we would have had to spend huge wages and a huge transfer budget purely because Napoli are a very hard club to negotiate with. They wanted stupid money. You're talking 70, 80, plus, nearly 100 million plus just for the transfer and then the wages. So to be able to get him this summer for 55 million is a huge discount. The report continues to say that Victor Osimhen favours a move to Juventus or a Premier League club this summer. Chelsea, Arsenal and Manchester United are all interested in the striker who is available for £55 million. Now look, at that price, when you've got Chelsea, Arsenal and Manchester United all going for the same player, a player of Victor Osimhen's calibre, he is coming to the Premier League this summer. It's just a matter of fact of which club he signs for. Chelsea fans, we want him to sign for us. He's a boyhood fan of the club. He's got strong links. Drogba is his idol. He wants to come break records, wants to play for the shirt. But we all know that the wage demands are going to be the stumbling block in the negotiations. We knew this last summer. It will be the same thing this summer. Rob Dawson at ESPN has reported that Victor Osimhen's demands are expected to reach around £9.4 million a year after tax. Manchester United are actively trying to bring down their wage bill this summer, so Liam Delap is a more likely signing at this stage because of the salary. And look, we know that this is going to be the stumbling block. I literally just said it based on the last thing that was reported. £9.4 million a year. I think it works out about 200k a week, just over, when you take the, before tax, after tax, etc. He's looking at around 250k a week. That's what he wanted last year. This is what he's going to want this year. He's 27, coming into the prime of his career for strikers, usually 27 to sort of 30, 32. He wants his one last big deal. He wants to go earn the bag, and fair play to him. I don't blame him. I do not blame him. A guy who is, prolific at scoring goals, great in the air, good aerial threat, good with both feet, natural finisher, can bully defences. I think you're going to have Arsenal, Manchester United and Chelsea sniffing around like they are. They all need a centre forward. They need that focal point, and Victor Osimhen will transform each one of these clubs in different ways. But one thing he will guarantee is he will score goals. Now, the way that Chelsea are moving, they're trying to reduce their wage bill. United are trying to reduce their wage bill. Doesn't look like Arsenal are. It seems like Arsenal have the funds to go spend 200, 250k a week on a striker if it's the right fit. Especially if the transfer wage itself is £55 million. I still can't get over that. That is a huge discount on Victor Osimhen. It's wild. Will Chelsea break their wage structure and go buy Victor Osimhen and go, right, we'll give you what you want because you want to play for us. We know that you are the missing piece to the puzzle. You are that bit of experience we can inject into this young side. 27, coming on 28, I think within the year. He's a proven goal scorer. It makes a lot more sense. Or are Chelsea going to go, 55 million is well within the ballpark of what they're willing to spend. They spent nearly 90 million on Mudryk. They spent over 100 million on Enzo and Caicedo. We're not scared of spending the money on the actual transfer, wage. It's more the weekly wages that we're trying to reduce and, spread out over a long period. So, would Osimhen want a long-term contract to essentially finish his career in the Premier League on a lesser wage because it's over a longer period of time? Are Chelsea willing to break the wage structure just for this one player because it guarantees us goals, which is the missing piece? We create so many chances, we just need a striker that's clinical enough, a natural finisher to hoover up these chances. Osimhen will be one of these people. The amount of crosses we whip in the box and there's just no one to win headers. This guy will win you headers. This guy will score you headers. That's something we massively miss in this Chelsea squad. £9.4 million a year. Now look, going over the last 20, 25 years, Chelsea has spent mad money on wages, and even recently under this new ownership, Raheem Sterling's on 325 grand a week. Now I've got a funny feeling that they've looked at that and gone, that's really not worked out. £50 million transfer, 325 grand a week. We've given him what he wanted, big money. and he's flopped essentially, and we can't get him off the books. We're struggling to move him because of his massive wages. No one wants to touch him on 325k a week on a Raheem Sterling right now. You'd be crazy to take that deal. We had a similar thing with Lukaku. We gave him mad money. It was a massive transfer of nearly £100 million. And again, didn't work out, mainly because of self-sabotage on Lukaku's part, let's be honest. But even before that, he scored like 15 goals in like 40-odd games. Jackson's had a better return, and he's like a third of the price, and his wages are definitely a lot less than Lukaku. So maybe the Chelsea board are looking at it and going, do we take that risk? I'm hoping they do, because Victor Osimhen will be that star-studded striker that we've been after. But hey, let me know your thoughts down below. The Sun Football have reported that Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca is planning for life without Mykhailo Mudryk and Christopher Nkunku in his squad next season. Now, I saw this reported and I thought it was very, very interesting, and I wanted to ask you guys your opinions on this. Mykhailo Mudryk pretty much doesn't play for the club anymore because we're still waiting on that B sample, and it's only been, what, October, November, like 6 months. It's been like 6 months, probably more. I think that Chelsea are covering it up. I think he's obviously failed this test. We're looking to offload him to a place where he can still play, where the rules are slightly different, I don't know, or where the substance isn't banned, maybe. I don't see a future for Mykhailo Mudryk at Chelsea if they can't get this sample stuff sorted. It's been going on far too long. I remember all the sort of scandals in my lifetime of all these players, Pogba, Rio Ferdinand. There's been a couple of others. They're resolved instantly. And we're still waiting on the B sample to be tested. It's absolutely wild. So I don't blame Maresca for planning for next season without him and basically saying, right, we need support on that left wing. What are we doing with Jadon Sancho? Are we going to keep him? We're going to sell him? I don't know. But either way, it's either we need 1 or 2 left wingers for next season, because you can't plan with Mykhailo Mudryk because you don't know when he's going to come back. He could be back for the Club World Cup and get it clear. He could get banned and be out for 4 years. He could come back in the middle of next season because it's gone on even longer. We just don't know. So it kind of makes sense. Christopher Nkunku, I mean, that's the easiest decision. He doesn't want to be here. He's not good enough, which does sadden me. He was one of my favourite players when he was in the Bundesliga. Such a cold finisher, world-class player, really was showing his talents. And at Chelsea just hasn't worked. Had that long-term injury. He wants to go back to the Bundesliga. He had that interest from Bayern in January. He doesn't look like he cares. Doesn't look like he wants to be on the pitch. Maresca's addressed this in a recent press conference saying, it's not a lack of trying. It's more like, whatever fluff he said. No, Maresca, he doesn't want to be here. He doesn't make any runs. We saw what he played against Brentford. He didn't move. Just lost the ball. And he was just like, I'm just collecting a paycheck. And he's on like 180 grand a week. So again, looking to offload them higher earners. And I think it makes sense. I think someone will come in for Nkunku around 30, 40 million. No problem. And if we're going back to the Bundesliga, they will probably play a premium of like 50, 60 million. Purely because of his sort of background within the Bundesliga as well. And, he's gone a long time this season without an injury, which is really good on a personal level, on a player level, right? He got over that long-term injury and he's staying fit, which is good. That's good, especially if we're trying to offload him in the summer. We can say, look, his record is good in terms of availability. He just can't play football to save his life, in my opinion, or in a Chelsea shirt. Whether it's a system's fault, apparently we keep playing him in the wrong position. I can't be hearing that anymore. We've played him left wing, 10, 9, played him everywhere, and he just doesn't look good at all. His best position that he's played for Chelsea is on that left-hand side, and even then, it's just nowhere near the standard that we want him to be at. Lou Class has reported on the Chelsea front of shirt sponsorship, nothing more will happen this season. Everything will be explained after the end. The key is UCL. Well, oh no, we're not going to have a front shirt sponsor for the last 8 games remaining of the season. We've not had one all season. They've been stringing us along all season going, hey, we're going to get one. We're going to get one. We're just waiting for the right deal, waiting for the right people, blah, blah, blah. We weren't going to have one this season. And in my opinion, it is a massive waste of money missed. It's free. Sponsorship is free money. They give you, the money so they can have their sponsor on your shirt. In terms of running the football club and playing football, nothing changes. You just get some free money from these sponsors. And Chelsea are trying to get the best deal possible. Okay, cool. But we've now gone 2 seasons without a front of shirt sponsor, right? I think collectively under their ownership. That's a lot of money missed, especially if they're looking for that 40 to 50 million pound a year. That's nearly 100 million you've lost in revenue because you've just not picked a sponsor even at a lesser wage for a shorter term until you get the one that you want when we're back in the Champions League. That is the key. We know that. Key is the UCL. We know that they want to get back into European football, because that's when clubs are willing to pay more money for a front of shirt sponsor. But I'm going to say I'm not holding out a front of shirt sponsor for next season. I'm really not, because in the grand scheme of things, to me, this is quite menial. It'll be exciting because it's free money, like I said, for marketing on their behalf and for the club's revenue. But look, we've been rumoured with Riyadh Airs, Turkish Airlines, some Dubai Airlines, some tech companies, Mercedes, is it Air Jordan as well? Like we've been rumoured of all these people. No one will touch us unless we get Champions League football. So if we don't qualify for the Champions League, one, it'll be a disaster because we're looking for progress this season, and two, we won't have a shirt sponsor. So if we qualify, then we can maybe have the conversation. But I just thought it was important to kind of highlight the fact that they were saying, oh, just to let you know, even though it's near the end of the season, we're not going to have a front shirt sponsor. Strange. Moving on to Philip Sport, he has reported that Chelsea are looking at signing a new goalkeeper this summer amid concerns over both Robert Sanchez and Philip Jorgensen. AC Milan's Mike Maignan is being considered. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord, because Robert Sanchez is garbage. I don't care who is coming at me saying that, oh, he's played great, he's kept a few clean sheets. Yeah, I know, that's the minimum we expect for a keeper in a Chelsea shirt. He, across the season, not just recency bias of the last 3 or 4 games, because I always give Sanchez credit where it's due. I've always been fair. I've berated him when he's been terrible, which unfortunately is most of the time. But when he has played well, I've given him his flowers, because it's what you do, right? He's still a terrible goalkeeper. There's no two ways about it. Get him gone. Philip Jorgensen is a bit of a shame. He does look a bit shaky sometimes, but his distribution is a hell of a lot better than Robert Sanchez. But I think we'll keep Philip Jorgensen. Petrovic will come in as number 1. But if they are looking to buy someone like Mike Maignan, I would back it 100%. What a goalkeeper. What a goalkeeper. Levels above Robert Sanchez. And to be fair, that's not hard. The level for Robert Sanchez is very, very low. Kepa is having a better season than Robert Sanchez. Work that out, because Kepa was atrocious. You shot outside the box and he would never get anywhere near it. We'd concede so much. So I would back Mike Maignan in a Chelsea shirt all day long. This is something I think we've been loosely linked with him for the last few sort of transfer windows. Nothing's really come of it, but it's starting to circulate again. I would take him in a heartbeat, but let me know your thoughts on the goalkeeping situation. Jacob Steinberg has reported that Liam Delap's release clause will fall to £30 million if Ipswich are relegated to the Championship. Chelsea and Manchester United are both targeting the striker. Now, for me, this is the big one. Now, we know that Victor Osimhen is discounted heavily. That's incredible, 55 million, but we know that the wages will be the stumbling block. Liam Delap, allegedly the release clause was £40 million. It's now come out that it's £30 million if Ipswich get relegated. Let's be honest, no disrespect to Ipswich, they're going down. If they stay up, hey, fair enough, well played. But I can see them going down, especially with their running of games between now and the end of the season. Chelsea and United are both targeting the striker. We know how much Maresca sort of wants Delap. We know that the board and the owners love Delap, and I know why they love Delap. He's young, he's English, he fits the profile, great. The main thing is the wages. I think he's on something like 20 grand a week. Something like that, 20, 25 grand. So if we was to triple his wages, it would be less than 100 grand a week. And we can guarantee him game time because our main number 9 is Jackson, who I absolutely love and I back. But we know the time is coming where we need to have Jackson with some competition. So, look, I take Delap. I think he is a natural finisher that would sweep up the chances that we create, just like Victor Osimhen. I think they would both do a stellar job in a Chelsea shirt. I think there's a lot of concerns from the fans going, oh, it's a player from Ipswich, blah, 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 he's got no experience. He scored more goals than Jackson in the league this year. I know Jackson was injured for, say, a month and a half. I get that. And he started the season very well, got to 9 very quickly, and he had some assists, and he's integral to the way that we play. I love Jackson, I really do. But Delap, look, he's a natural finisher. He's scoring 12 Premier League goals so far, as of the time of recording, in a struggling relegation battling side. That is impressive. I don't care how you spin it. He's young. He's got the right profile. He was in City's academy. We know what happens with products that come out of City's academy. Look at Cole Palmer. I'm not saying it's going to be another Cole Palmer. I just think that he would hit the ground running at Chelsea. And if you're using him and Jackson, potentially Jackson could fill a spot into the left wing while that's under jeopardy. You could have left wing or Jackson on the left wing, Delap down the middle. I think that would work very, very well. The Athletic have also reported that Chelsea have committed significant time and effort into pursuing Liam Delap. They are perhaps best placed for any possible deal, but Chelsea have other options when it comes to signing a striker. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest, a lot of Chelsea creators, a lot of Chelsea fans have said this for months, basically, since January, right? Since the January transfer window, Chelsea will end up with Liam Delap. We want Osimhen, we want some big goal scorer, we want to pay big bucks that's going to guarantee us goals. We're going to end up with Liam Delap, and you've just got to accept it, I think. I don't think there's anything that we can do to change the decision. I think the board have made their decision. Like I said, they can triple his wages and still keep it low. Triple his wages and he'll still be one of the lower earners. He's young, he fits the profile, he is a natural finisher, which is what we're missing. Jackson isn't a natural finisher. He was originally a winger that's been converted to a 9, and I think he does a great job. We all know that he needs to improve. He's improved massively from last season, for sure. He's less wasteful, but he's not a natural finisher. Liam Delap is. 12 Prem goals, that's all they need to know. They're going to go, cool, he can score goals in the Premier League. We can get him for £30 million, which is a similar price to Jackson. And in today's football market, that's very cheap for a forward, especially an English forward. We know you get English tax. That's just a thing. I don't know why, but you get English tax. He's a homegrown player, he can score goals. So I feel like Chelsea will end up with Liam Delap. Would I say I'm over the moon about it? No. But I'm not sad about the decision. I'd take Liam Delap. I've said this. I'm a big fan. I would take Liam Delap. He tore us apart single-handedly at their place. Now, yes, he died for that penalty. But hey, if he was wearing a Chelsea shirt and he'd done that, we wouldn't be complaining. All I'm saying. But he tore us apart. He bullied our centre-backs. He's still young. He's still learning. But I just think he's got a lot of potential. I would much rather someone like Victor Osimhen or Gyökeres. Sesko, potentially. I feel I'm not as sold on Sesko, but Gyökeres or Osimhen all day, every day. Yes, please. I have a feeling that Chelsea are going to end up with Liam Delap. He could go to Manchester United. And if he does that, it kind of forces Chelsea into a corner. And they're like, cool, if he's not available, who is left on the list? Osimhen, Gyökeres or Sesko? You know what I mean? Depends who Arsenal go for as well. If they secure Osimhen and United secure Delap, that leaves us with Gyökeres or Sesko. I feel like there's a big domino effect that's going to happen this summer with all the strikers because the pool of number 9s is getting so small. And there's only a select 4 or 5 that people are like, yeah, we need them. They're amazing. But let me know your thoughts about Liam Delap and the current pool, the shortlist of strikers. The Athletic continue to report it is also inevitable that wages will come into it, and a significant part of Liam Delap's thinking will come down to which clubs are offering him the highest salary. Now, I cannot see Manchester United or Arsenal or even Chelsea going, right, here's 150 grand a week. Because like I said, I think his wages are around 20 to 25k a week at the moment. We could triple it quite easily. You go, right, and that's between 60 and 75 grand a week. Go, right, here's 75. Let's round up. So here's 80 grand a week. Do you want to come play for Chelsea? You'll be our number 9 in competition with Jackson, but we want to start you as you're more of a forward, more of a natural finisher. I don't know Liam Delap as a person, right? I don't know him personally, but if you were to triple someone's wages to do the same job you're doing, to stay in the Premier League, play for one of the biggest clubs in world football, especially over the last 25, 30 years, all the trophies we've won, the history we have. Same thing for Man United. I can see them paying just under 100k a week. They might surprise me. It's purely because they're trying to reduce their wage bill. So I think we can go pound for pound with them on the wage bracket. We can spend more under our wage structure, and they're trying to reduce their wage bill. They don't have a wage structure in place like we have, where we have these longer contracts and incentive-based contracts. We could say to him, look, we'll triple your wage that you're on in Ipswich. We'll give you 75 grand a week. And if you score 15 goals next season, we'll up it to 120. And all of a sudden, he's like, wow, 22, 23, maybe 24, coming into 6 figures a week. Seems very appealing, but I don't blame Liam Delap. He's going to have a pick of clubs. He's going to be United, Chelsea, potentially Arsenal. And he's going to be like, cool, who do I want to go with? What's going to be the best project? Who's going to pay me the most? Where's the best fit for me as a player? Do you see him playing for Manchester United under Amorim? Do you see him playing in this Chelsea system under Maresca? I could see it working for both. Be very interesting to see what happens. But Victor Osimhen at a £55 million by release clause essentially, and Liam Delap at 30 million. Wages will be a stumbling block for both players, right? I feel like it's a lot easier to please someone like Liam Delap than it will be to Victor Osimhen. You're trying to reduce someone from 250k down to our wage structure, and then you've got someone like Liam Delap where you can triple it and still be well within that wage structure. I don't know. At this point, we just need a number 9. Let me know your thoughts about Liam Delap and Osimhen. I'm very curious to know whether you are so one-sided and you just want Osimhen or nothing, or you would actually welcome the thought of Delap and think, yeah, we could go somewhere with him. Just curious to know. So that is the Chelsea news. The two strikers that Chelsea are after this summer, both at a discount. I want to know your thoughts and opinions down below. Would you take them? Would you not? Also, if you have made it this far to the end of the video, one, you're a real one, but two, there'll be a thumbnail that pops up on the screen. So if you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content, make sure you click that thumbnail because you'll enjoy that video too.